Not see our hand up, we forgive you. We excuse you for it. But if you did, and you chose to ignore the CCC, I need you to know, Madam Speaker, that we are here at the behest of the voter, not the Democratic Alliance. That while we are in opposition, we are here to work together. We didn't come here to fight. We came here to get and to give. There is not a single party in this House that will receive everything that it wants. All of us need to make this admission. So, with regards to your speech, Mr. Mayor, and I want to ask my colleagues in opposition that we need to show a little bit more support towards our mayor. He is our mayor, and we should support him until he gives us a reason not to. And when he gives us that reason, then we should show him why we are opposition. But you spoke about the talent and the beauty of our beloved city, Mr. Mayor. I just need to extend that much of that talent and that beauty is suppressed by apartheid spatial planning and unjust bylaws. And most of this House has nothing to say about that. That you mentioned those who have gone before us, and I need to bring this up, because most of who have gone before us have done this city so much of a disservice. I refer to creations such as Wolverine and Blikkiesdorp, crimes against humanity that this House is never going to speak unless one of us on this side of the floor is going to bring it up. You mentioned the shadows of the past, Mr. Mayor. I want to ask you with all due respect to please do not minimize the pain and the suffering we, the people of color, have had under apartheid. Because to us, apartheid is not a shadow. It is in actual fact a ball and a chain. It is a suffocating mechanism that strangles the life out of our communities. It is time we acknowledge this honestly so we can move forward. You mentioned our new journey. It is a collective one. Mr. Mayor, I would have to demand that we start this journey with an apology to the colored communities that have been struggled and strangled by this dispensation, and that we start implementing aggressive corrective action in order to make it better. You mentioned the 3 billion rand plus that will be spent on the poorest of the poor for basic services, and it sounds really impressive until we realize that it is in actual fact 5% of the city's budget. Mr. Mayor, our poor deserve better. They deserve more. I'm here to demand for more for the poor. Mr. Mayor, you gave an in-depth speech on crime in the city of Cape Town, but not once did you mention the 3,500 of our sons that we will lose. I take this as an admission from you that the city of Cape Town has no plan to fix this. That for the next 5 years, safety and security will simply blame national government. Okay. Mr. Mayor, if that is the case, then I move to suggest that you seriously consider we close down the Department of Safety and Security and we channel those funds elsewhere. Mr. Mayor, you gave credit to a young lady called Caroline Waduna because of her efforts to preserve the Milnerton Lagoon. I ask you, Mr. Mayor, in all honesty, if you can tell us how long it took for that to be acknowledged and how long it took before action was implemented, because Strandfontein Pavilion, 27 years later, is still falling apart. I want to understand, Mr. Mayor, why the suburbs receive that type of response and that type of budget allocation while the ghettos are dying for a lack of it. That said, Mr. Mayor, I'm impressed that a young man can seem so liberal. Please do not fail me. Thank you.
Thank you very much.